up, guys? LocsNLoadFirearms reviews here today. All right, guys. Now I haven't done too many product reviews recently, because I've been doing it for so long that a lot of these products are kind of repeats, kind of mundane to me. They don't really do too much. They're just really a product to be sold, something to make money off. So I don't really do them unless I find them particularly interesting. So today I'm reviewing something that I find particularly interesting for me, and for those of you who carry the 43X, like I do. It's a if you use the standard Glock magazines, they only come with 10 rounds. So 10 plus 1, 11 rounds in your pistol. So they do have the shield arm magazines, and I used to have them for a while, and I did have issues with it, especially if you're out by salt water. It froze very fast, and then they tend to not work. And then you have to replace your magazine release with a metal one, because just of the way the magazines are designed, that polymer magazine release will start to grind down, and then it won't really seat your magazines properly. So I was on the fence about buying another gun or going back to my team, which had 15 round flush magazines. I didn't know you can carry larger magazines for that pistol. Until I seen that the PSA micro dagger, which is basically the PSA's copy of a 43X, their magazines right here. Oh, come on, camera. Yep. There we go. All right, so their magazines are 15 round mags, and they do sit and hold inside of a Glock 43X. And so let me adjust this. There we go. So they do sit flush inside of that Glock pistol, and they are 15 round flush magazines. And so what I'm here to do today is try out a couple different ammunition that I use. We got some 115 grain training ammo for FMJs, and then we got Federal 147 grain hollow points, which is the carry ammo I like to use for self-defense. And we're going to try them out in these magazines and see if they work well. Now, I've seen the reviews. Reviews say they do work. I've seen people say they do like it, that it's good. And I've also seen other people say that they had issues with hollow point ammunition. And so I definitely want to try that out before I start to make these my primary go-to magazines, because if these two work the way I hope they work, I'll buy two more. So I'll have two for training and two for carry. So that way my carry mags are not getting beat up and dropped and overly used. So going in as I'm loading these rounds, and this is the first time I put rounds in these magazines, so the spring should loosen up, but it's a little stiff. Nothing too crazy, but nope. It's nothing too crazy. Is that 15? No. All right, so it's not too crazy, but the magazine spring is kind of stiff. Trying to load these mags up, but like I said, it's the first time, so hopefully they will loosen up. See if I get this last one in here. I should have brought a magazine loader. Yeah, there we go. Whew. Those mags are kind of stiff, but I did get all 15 rounds of the FMJs, and I got my target right here. So all right, batteries are dead. Of course, batteries always seem to be dead. All right, so 15 rounds in our first mag. Seat locks in. Around, and we're gonna shoot. All right. All rounds fed. I think that was a trigger issue, not the magazine, because I let off the trigger and then I think it reset it and then fired. All right. So we're going to try that again, load another 15. And we'll try the other new magazine with that spring. See if the spring is as stiff as the other one. So what I'll probably have to end up doing, I'm not going to fire all these rounds on camera and bore you guys. I'll probably have to take these out a couple times. Just shoot them, get that spring loosened up. And then when it's good and worn in, because these magazines are kind of stiff, the spring is stiff, then they should be good to. These are hella stiff. Starting to hurt my thumb a little bit. Alright. So, got our other mag. Failure to eject. And it locks back. So we had one malfunction on that. Now I can't say that was a magazine or if that was the pistol, but we did have a malfunction. So again, this is gonna be a work in progress. So we'll see. Now I'm gonna try the hollow points. We'll see. Like I said, if these don't work, then I'll probably just end up going back to my Glock 19 and carrying that to give me a holster for it, like a better holster, because I think my other one broke, and I'll just end up be carrying that thing again like I used to when I first got it. So. Yeah, this 43 is not. I'm gonna sell it. Goodness, trying to get that 15 round in there is kind of hard. So we got 14. All right. All right. So hollow points 147 grain. Cycled all the rounds. So I guess the good thing is that even if I can't get all 15 and I can only get 14, that's still 4 more rounds than the OEM Glock magazine. So carry 2 mags, that's an extra 8 rounds, was almost a whole nother magazine in capacity wise. So again, I haven't had this is that one issue, that failure to eject. That could really honestly be the pistol, not the magazine. So I'm not gonna really chalk it to the mag with that issue. And that other kind of like dead trigger, again, that's the pistol, not the magazine. It could have been me because I do have big hands, so I tend to kind of grip the slide and throw it out of whack sometimes. So. Alright, let's see, get it. Alright, 14. I'll break my thumb doing this. Alright, another magazine of 147 grain hollow points. Worked well. And so I got 4, 7, 6, 7, 8. So what I'm gonna do is mix them up. So I'm gonna take F and J, hollow point. F and J, hollow point. F and J, hollow point. F and J, hollow. F and J, hollow. F and J, hollow. Started with the F and J. And I got 2 hollows, so I'll just put them in this other mag. So we'll fire the 2 rounds of hollows. Drops free and clear. And lock back. So not a super high stress test, but the magazine fires all the rounds. Seems to cycle FMJ and hollow points just fine. So again, we'll be doing more testing on it. I'm not gonna put it all on camera because that's gonna be too long and kind of boring. But just want to let you guys know, if you're looking for more mags for your 43X, check out the PSA mags. They might work for you. You might have a good time, and hopefully these springs do start to loosen up, because they are hella stiff, and I can only really get 14 in there. But even so, if I can only get 14, that's still 4 more rounds better than the OEM Glock mag. So, alright, we're going to step over to part 2 of the video, where I'm going to zero in my Arkin scope. So, see you guys at the rifle range. And for those wondering, that's my shot group. So, obviously it's not far, we're literally 5 yards away. It should kind of look like that. You know, that's me just kind of mag dumping. You know, I'm just letting the dot hit the circle, boom, boom, boom. So, you know, at least your boy can still shoot. Might not make as many videos, but I can still shoot. Alright, y'all, welcome back. We're at the rifle range now. So I'm gonna do 2 things here. I've only got 50 rounds or so. Yeah, 50 rounds of. Alright, let me adjust this. I was getting to try to lock on me so when I move around it follows, but it doesn't want to do it right. So here for 2 things. So I'm bringing back my 16-inch DMR. So good. Okay. So shout out Ali. He blessed me with the Arkin 6-24 optic. And so, yeah, it's kind of a lot to have with just this rifle, but as you can see, it's free. So if it's free, I'll take it. And so I'm gonna test that out, get 0 to 50 on paper. Because when I start using 77s, I don't have to fire as many rounds to get on paper. It's kind of close enough. And secondly, I have my 11.5. And so I've been having issues with the bolt carrier and firing rounds. And so I cleaned it up, took it all apart, gave it a nice cleaning. Make sure all the parts were not worn out or good. You know, the gas rings and everything is good. The cotter pin is good. The firing pin looks good. The extractor looks good. So I I brought it out again to just see if I can get to fire consistently. And if it does have issues, I do have a backup bolt carrier for the gun that I can use. Because again, I want to get everything fixed out or ready for an end of the year shoot where, I bought 1,000 rounds, and 5,000 rounds of 5.56, 500 rounds 9mm, and we're gonna be out there just like we was last year, from sun up to sundown. We're doing night vision stuff, low light stuff, and all kind of just training, running around, and doing stuff. So I want to make sure all my gear is good to go. So when I get out there, I'm not hopefully having issues. So I'm gonna go ahead and disconnect this and get it ready for my 16-inch upper. So a lot of people will say that, hey, 6-24 for a 16-inch AR-15 is too much scope. And sure, why it might be a lot of scope for if you're just trying to hit painted targets or just go to like competition and stuff. When you use that scope to try to look in on, let's say, like how we do our Where's Waldo drill, it might just be the upper of an AK or a green bag in the woods. It might be a hammer in a tree, or not a hammer, an axe in a tree, or gloves on the ground, or a canteen pack, or pouch. You're going to want that extra magnification where 1-8 is just not going to cut it. Sometimes a 2-10 may not cut it. You're going to need that 4-16, 3-18, 6-24 to really dial in, not on the bush, but be able to see in the bush and maybe through the bush to be able to pick out those targets. Because again, in reality, everyone's not just going to be brightly white painted targets just standing out in the open. They're going to be camouflaged. They're going to be hiding, concealing themselves. You're going to need some type of magnification to be able to engage those targets. So I'm going to get this scope here zeroed, and then I'm going to move on into my 11.5 and see how that does. All right, so I got the scope and everything set on there the way I want it to. And so what I'm going to do is go over just a quick, rundown of my build for you guys who, new to the channel or never seen my DMR. All right, so got a B5 systems stock, standard carbon buffer tube. But now venerable Anderson lower with the Anderson upper. They're discontinued, so now it's a collectible. Bad lever, got the ALG ACH trigger, which again, this lower is for my 11.5, and so I do have a dedicated upper I'm going to build out for this, and I'm going to have a Geisley 2-stage trigger, Arkin 6-24 optic, which is, I have one of these optics on my AR-10. I love it. I have no problems with it, especially for the price point, and then especially this one right here, which I got for free thanks to Ali. Got Midwest Industries, I think 13 or 12-inch rail, quad rail. I'm not quad rail, M-Lock rail. We got the Streamlight flashlight. Got a Ballistic Advantage Hansen Profile Precision Barrel. And I got the suppressor, which is usually sits on my 11.5, the YHM 2 turbo suppressor. So, and of course, a couple 20-round mags. A bipod that I will use sometimes. I either use on this gun or my AR-10. This is a Harris bipod with collaboration with LaRue. I don't know if you guys can really see that. So it's got a LaRue QD mount on the Harrison bipod. Really like that. And so that's my setup here, y'all, that I'm going to be running. As I said, I'm built out a dedicated lower for this gun. It's going to have a much better trigger, but this trigger is 2-stage, so it should be good enough to get us on paper. Got a magazine, and then now I'm going to zero. I'm not going to use the bipod. I'm going to use this block of wood and gun bag to kind of help out and get a better stabilizing platform to shoot. So Alright, we're at 50 yards, which is where we normally zero our rifles, even with the DMRs. And then you just learn your holes from there. Alright, let's see where we're hitting. Alright, looks like we're hitting low. So, 5. So 5 got us on target, those 2 rounds. Off. Elevation looks good. My left and right needs to come over just a little bit. We're hitting over to the right, so we need to come left. Do a path, so 0.5 left. Alright, we'll come full 1. We're just kind of walking on target now. Two left, and 2 up. so that's all ammo. And we are hitting the red circle, so again, I'm not trying to, this is not precision ammo, so I'm not trying to get super precise, just close enough on paper when I start to use my 77s within the ballpark. And so those last 3 rounds are in or touching that red circle, and so for me that's good enough. So happy that was pretty easy to do, didn't take a whole bunch of ammo. And now I'm going to swap over to my level 5 and check my BCG to make sure it's operating properly. Alright, got my level 5 and my suppressor, which is still kind of toasty. The suppressors get hot. Now it's not even 20 rounds, you know. So I got a full So I got a full 20 round magazine. Now we'll see this bolt carrier, which is the gold one, can fire all 20 rounds without an issue. Like last range day I took it out, it just did not want to really fire, so I had to borrow Key's bolt carrier. And then somehow miraculously at the end of the day, you know, I tried to get it fire, and it just started shooting normally. So now since I gave it a good deep cleaning, checked it over to see and make sure that it's working properly. If not, I'm using that silver bolt carrier, that nickel boron you saw me shoot my DMR. Alright. I do not like to shoot this thing unsuppressed, I'll tell you that right now. This 11.5 and muzzle brake is not fun to shoot unsuppressed, even with hearing protection. So like, I almost refuse to. Alright, going hot. Yep. Light primer strike. Yep. Alright, give it a couple more. But yeah, as you see, it's not shooting. Shoots around and it doesn't want to shoot. Alright, so what I'm gonna do, let's take these rounds because they're getting light primer strikes. Alright, time to try the other bolt carrier. Whew, that gas. Tell you what, I'm gonna be in the market for another suppressor that has as little back pressure as possible. Alright. So we are getting consistency out of that bolt carrier. And so what just kind of crossed my mind, if I am having a firing pin issue, I'm gonna take the firing pin out of this one, swap it over to that one, and see if I have the same issue. Alright, so went over and swapped firing pins. Dirty job. Now we're gonna see if that was our issue with the bad firing pin. Whew. That gas, boy, that gas. Fire's locked back. So, that confirms our suspicions, and really the whole reason I want to come out here. So, this was the old firing pin, and I don't know if it got sheared off the top or just ground it down. But it's not getting consistent strikes. So when I swap the firing pins, it's working fine now. So I guess that's good and bad. I mean, bad that you know you had an issue, but it's good because you can easily just buy another firing pin, and just how I did with that bolt carrier and swap it to this one, you just swap firing pins. So I'm not gonna crash this one yet. I'm not going to use it anymore, that's for sure. I'm definitely going to be online buying another one, probably a BCM firing pin, and just put it in that bolt carrier so I have a good backup. And or probably just take this one out and put in the new firing pin in here, and take this whole firing pin and put it back in there. Either or, maybe even buy two new firing pins and replace them both. But it's good that I found the issue that was going on with my gun before we got out there, and then I don't know what the hell is going on. So, well, we got to accomplish everything we wanted to today. Tested out the 2 new pistol mags. Found out that yeah, they're kind of stiff to get 15 rounds in there, but I could get at least 15 in both of them. So that still ups my magazine capacity. They cycle all the ammo. My 16-inch DMR is now zeroed on point, ready for 77 grain. And then I figured out the issue with my 11.5, why it was not firing reliably. So, booyah. So, good day. I'm glad I came out. I had to get out the house, man. I was just sitting around playing Battlefield 6 for like 2 days straight, 2-3 days straight. So I had to come out and touch grass. So, glad I was able to do this. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. As always, if you like it, like, comment, subscribe. Like I said, I don't do many product reviews like I used to, because again, a lot of them are just kind of mundane to me, and then they just don't really. It's not. I don't know the word I'm looking for, but if I get one gun and I shoot like 500 rounds to that gun. It's like, oh, this gun's good. That doesn't mean the next 10 guns that the manufacturer gives out is going to be good. So it's kind of, it's just making content at that point, and it kind of bores me to just do things just to do it. I like to do things that kind of interest me. So that's why like a lot of my videos have been training wise or drill wise, because that stuff still kind of interests me. When you shot pretty much an AR from every big manufacturer, Noveske, BCM, Geisley, Colt, you know, an AR is an AR. And so a lot of, especially if it's like, oh yeah, we'll let you try this gun, it's $4,000. No one's gonna really buy a $4,000 rifle. No one should, especially when you can build a rifle for well under $2,000 and it works just as good and does the same thing, you know. So it just kind of gets to a certain point where it's like, especially now, when I first started, you know, one of my reasons because there was no other black YouTubers out there like Coley on the War. That was really him. I think one other guy, I forget his name. I used to shoot with him back in the day, but now he kind of does like different videos. Because again, doing this does kind of get mundane, somewhat boring. I know you think, how do you shoot guns? That never gets boring. It does. It can. And you just kind of look for to do different things, which is why I started a fishing channel. Kind of just break away and do something different. But yeah, so back then I didn't see a lot of representation for black gun owners. Now that was back in 2016, 2017. Now it's 2025. There's a lot of black gun tubers out there putting out great content and doing their thing. And so I don't feel like I have to do so much that I used to do. You know, I got a name for myself, and I appreciate everyone out there who's been following me for a while. But now there's a lot of other people that can just pick up and, you know, do that. And I can just kind of just do the things I want to do now. And so that's basically what I've been doing. So again, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm still going to make videos. It might not be as often. It might not be as many products. There's definitely be a lot of training. And I'll try to do educational videos as well. Because I feel like that's what truly helps the gun community get better and grow. Yeah, cool. Gold guns, Glocks with switches, things blowing up, magnums. Sure, that's fun, entertaining. But what really builds the two-way community is training and education, and we're always going to need that regardless. So stay around if you enjoy that type of stuff. So again, thanks for watching. Stay educated, stay dangerous. LocsNLoad out.